This is the Syma W1 Pro brushless GPS drone. This is a small brushless GPS drone with optical flow. This is the optical flow camera right there. Buying this thing, I was thinking that it was going to be very, very stable. To my surprise, they went a different way with the implementation of this optical flow sensor. So it's not like DJI. I think DJI nailed it with their models. They use optical flow sensors as well as GPS at the same time, working together in unison. This thing here, it only uses one or the other. So it's never working the optical flow sensor and the GPS at the same time. Is one or the other. When the GPS is not available, then the optical flow sensor goes into action and helps in keeping this thing steady. But the results are this thing isn't as steady as I would like it to be. In fact, this thing drifts around a little too much for my comfort. So I really don't like how this thing holds its position. When you have 12 or more satellites locked in, this thing seems to hold its position a little better. But for the most part, when you're flying this thing around, it starts to lose its GPS lock on. It seems like it's not holding itself as steady. And I'm thinking it might even be the accelerometer in this thing. This thing has a 6-axis gyro, which is an accelerometer and a gyro working in unison. But it seems like either the programming isn't done well, or maybe it's not implemented well. Because if you fly this thing around and then stop after a while, it starts to develop a very strong drift. The drift gets very bad, and I think that the GPS in the drone tries to compensate for that to try to hold its position, and at times this thing will lose control to one direction. As you guys can see in the video here, I can't fly backwards with this thing. It was only allowing me to fly forward and the two sides, left or right. I was unable to fly backwards, so in order to bring it to me or to get it where I needed to be, I had to rotate this thing around and then pull it in the direction that I wanted to go in by using that method, because it just would not fly backwards because of the drift, the very heavy drift that this thing develops when you're flying it around. If you're the type like me that likes to have your GPS drones double as a fun flyer, this drone is not going to be able to cut it. It develops a very hard lean if you fly it too much. So really disappointed in Syma for that. I'm in no way a Syma hater or anything like that. I love Syma. Well, I'm not going to say I love Syma as a company, but I do have fun with a lot of their drones. I am fond of a bunch of their drones. I have one of their little ladybugs over here. I have a bunch of Syma drones actually, so in no way am I a Syma hater or anything like that. But this thing just isn't a good drone, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I would steer away from this one. This is not a good one. I don't recall Syma ever doing a GPS drone. Well, I haven't gotten my hands on any. But let's look at this drone. It has a proprietary battery. It has two little press-in buttons on the sides here in order to remove it. The battery is a 7.6 volt 1800 milliamp hour. So you get two of these actually. There's another one here. And the transmitter looks like the classic Syma transmitter that they've been using of lately, but this one does have a little different button layout here. We have this button here to switch from the top and bottom camera. Oh yeah, this optical flow camera doubles as a sensor to keep it still, and you can actually capture video and photos from this thing. So with this button here, you can switch to the bottom camera, and this one here switches it back to the front camera. And of course you can't use optical flow while you're using the bottom camera for video capture or photo capture. And so This button here returns it to home. And this button is the emergency landing, I think, if you hold this button down. These transmitter sticks also press in. And so it's a pretty nicely implemented transmitter. The range of this thing is 250 meters. So not bad, I guess, for a transmitter like this. It looks like a toy transmitter. It looks like a toy grade. Definitely it's plastic. Really no metal on this thing at all. And so it does take 4 AA batteries. I like the fact that you don't have to keep the screw in there. So that's a plus for it. This guy has a bunch of features that works through the app. And it has like a follow me mode. It has a waypoint. You can program for this thing using the app. And it has a subject follow mode where you can highlight a subject on a screen and it'll follow that subject or object. A lot of neat features, but I was afraid to really try any of those features with the accelerometer acting up and all. I didn't even try. I wasn't even confident enough to try its return to home, especially with this thing acting the way it does, not really having its GPS and optical flow sensor and all. It's not really that stable, I should say. This thing also has a 1080p camera. Now there's a bit of a conflict on the advertising. On the book, it actually says a 4K 5G Wi-Fi camera. So it says 4K on here. So it says 4K, and then also it says that this is a 1080p camera. So I have tried the video. The video is 1080p, and I'll show you guys that, some of the video and all. At the end, well, actually in another video, I'll do a raw upload so you guys can see a closer resemblance of how, a closer representation of how this video would look. The instructions manual is pretty good, pretty well put together. All English in this instructions manual here. This drone also has the option to run off 2.4 gigahertz for its video, which is Wi-Fi, or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So you can use 5G if you have a 5G phone to connect this thing, and it'll give you a better experience because the Wi-Fi won't be interfering with the transmitter's output. So you should be able to get a cleaner video feed with that, and you also should be able to get less latency and better control of the drone while you're doing video with it. It does stream video over the Wi-Fi connection to your phone, but when you remove the battery here, there is a little slot for your SD card, and they do include a 8 gigabyte SD card, and it took me a while to figure that out. I was wondering why they gave us this little card reader here, and I found the card inside the drone. And so the video that I was capturing over the Wi-Fi signal to my phone is also captured on this little card here. So I will be able to show you guys a comparison. I didn't see much of a difference, but I imagined that the onboard footage would be a little better than the over-the-air Wi-Fi signal footage. So the Wi-Fi signal footage is, they're saying that it's 4K if you have 5G. The way this works is the drone actually outputs the 5G. And so, and my phone does actually connect to the 5G that's output by this drone. So I'm guessing you just have to have a 5G Wi-Fi capable phone, not really a 5G signal phone. This is a little misleading because I have a Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and I was able to pick up on the Wi-Fi 5G that was being sent from this drone, and I logged into it with my phone. That's how you get the app to work. That's how you get the app to work. And speaking of the app, there's a little Q code here that you have to scan with your phone's camera to get it. The iOS version is here. This is the Android one from Google Play, and this is for Android that downloads directly from the website that Syma has it. And the name of the app is called Syma Air. They let you know here. Download the Syma Air app and watch the video tutorial. You can do that. And so this drone does have collapsible propellers and all. The propellers go on and are removed very easily. You just press it down and then it pops off when you twist it. As you can see that little pattern there, it locks onto this notch. When you press it down and then turn it, it instantly locks it in position. And so that's pretty cool. And I guess the drone looks pretty nice. The on and off button is here. Press and hold this power button to turn the drone on. And as you can see, you have a 4 light display here to let you know the battery's charge. And so here I have 3 notches of charge on this battery. The most you can have is 4. 4 is full. Uh-oh, we got one flashing now. But you have to press and hold to turn it off as well. And so you can check the battery's level by plugging it into the drone and holding the power button to turn it on. Now, the charger for this drone is this little proprietary charger there. Like this here, you have to line it up there. So you come from the top like that. And this USB plug has 2 lights in here. There's a red light and a green light. The green light continues to flash until it's fully charged. Then the green light will stay steady and the red light goes off. The accessories, it does come with an extra set of props. These foldable props there. Prop guards in here. I didn't even remove those because I don't use prop guards, but they just press and snap on here on the front. Have those little notches there. Everything came in those little boxes. We have the charging cords box there. We have something else left in the box here, which is the little mount for your phone that goes on here. You just remove this here and it slides right up on this to snap in place to hold your cell phone. And everything comes in these nice white package bags here. So let's sit those in the back. And so for the most part, this drone looks really nice, but I don't like the GPS hold on it. Well, not the GPS hold, but I think it's the accelerometer is very weak or badly programmed in this thing. And so it develops a lean when you're flying it around, and that affects its position holding. And it also stops you from controlling. You'll lose control in one direction or the other. And I don't like the fact that the optical flow sensor or camera here doesn't work in unison with the GPS. So you can't have GPS lock and have it also work with the optical flow to keep this thing very steady and still like DJI's drones do. And so I think they really should have copied that because DJI hit it right on the nail and Syma missed its mark. The W1 Pro brushless GPS drone from Syma. Thanks for watching.